Hello, welcome to a review of Max Payne 1 for the PlayStation 2, the iPhone, and the PC. Although this review is just for the PS2 and the PC versions, because the iPhone was made much later, with updated graphics and different controls. So, the game Max Payne 1 for the PlayStation 2 begins with Max Payne on top of a large skyscraper with police officers surrounded in all corners, and he's pretty much locked off from this very tall tower. And he then has a flashback of 3 years ago when he worked with the NYPD as an officer with his friend Alex. Instead of normal cutscenes, there are comic strip looking panels across the entire game. And so he used to work as an NYPD officer until he went home one day, saying that his life is like the American dream. He's got a perfect wife, house, and baby daughter. And he goes home on this perfect day, just as average as any other, and he finds that they've both been murdered by these bunch of psychopaths, and they've completely taken over his house. So he kills them all, basically, and he goes on a revenge mission for his entire family. And that's mostly most of the story already, but he later finds out that the Punchinello Mafia in New York was responsible for the death of them all, due to the drug called Valkyr, which is this new drug on the black market or whatever it is, yeah. And well, basically, loads of people have been taking it in this gang, the Punchinello Mafia, and they've gone pretty much crazy. And this gang, it isn't any normal mafia gang. It works kind of for the government. So what they do is authorized by the government, and they aren't stopped, and they're never going to be stopped. And so Max Payne pretty much takes things into his own hands and goes on a rampage to kill them all. And along the way he meets a few friends, and they all betray him. Well, most of them anyway. Hold on. He goes into a bar and he meets Mona Sachs, who is a hired assassin. She pours him a drink, which turned out to be a sedative, and he got found by the mafia when he was, sedated. She is a very mysterious character. The gang works, basically, at their headquarters, which is the gigantic skyscraper from the beginning. And Max overhears a conversation between Mona Sachs and the main Punchinello gang leader, which is called Nicole Horn. And Max actually does have an ally in all of this, a guy called Horn. I forget what his name. Max? No, not Max. Max Horn. Oh no, it's just this old guy called Horn, and he works in the court business, basically, in law and stuff like that. And so he says, basically, he's giving him leads to, he said go to this place because that's where the headquarters are. And Max Payne basically goes on a killing rampage, killing everybody on his way. He finds Mona Sachs and her blood spewed everywhere inside an elevator, but he doesn't find her, so that's pretty much like a lead to the next game and who the enemy is going to be. And he goes to the top and finds Nicole Horn, and she runs away in her helicopter, and it's like she runs away for the whole time, and you're being pursued by this helicopter who keeps shooting at you throughout the entire level. And basically she gets into the helicopter very later on, after running through a load of stuff, and basically, you run about on top of this gigantic building, that you're on the top now, and there's a gigantic antenna coming out into the sky, basically. It's like a radio antenna or whatever. And you shoot all of the the ropes that keep it attached, basically. And then you shoot a grenade into the actual antenna, and it will fall, and it crushes the helicopter. And then Max Payne stands on the top of the building looking down at all the police who have come at the amazing noise. And it pretty much, all the police surrounding him on top of the building. It ends like it started. It's like, the Blues Brothers or something. And he gets arrested, except he's smiling. And the old man, Woden, is also smiling because Max knows that Woden helped him, and he's going to help him again to get out of court, because, he's a court guy, and he works in law and stuff, so he'll eventually, prison doesn't mean anything to him because he's got Woden to get him out. So basically, Alfred Woden, that's his name, Alfred Woden. And that's basically the end of this game. Now, what I think about this, I think it's a very unique game because the controls, the controls are pretty much like basic controls, but it has stuff like the bullet time action sequences where you can slow down time, and you can, pretty much like leap into corners of the room or whatever, and just pretty much have deadly accuracy. And this refills over time, but I think you only get a certain amount of this with each stage, or with every time you slow motion and kill somebody. I think it like refills a little tiny bit. Anyway, you get painkillers because the health goes down really quickly, to be honest, and you have to depend on painkillers, which is pretty much what Alan Wake later on will get addicted to. But that's not this game yet. So, but then again, it's not far off either. So yeah, that's pretty much like the controls and the combat of it all. The story, I think, is there isn't that much of a story to it, to be honest, but the stuff that is there is quite interesting. It made me stay until the very end. And the characters are great. I love all the characters, especially Alfred Woden and Mona Sachs, because then again, it's really hard to like her even in this game because you know nothing about her. And in the next game, Max Payne, The Fall of Max Payne, there's much better backstory to her, because you can even see that in the front cover it's him and her holding each other, because they fall in love. Well, because The Fall of Max Payne, he falls in love, yada yada yada. A film noir love story even says on the front of it. Like I'm putting a picture of it up now. Yeah, there you go. And that's pretty much the next review that's coming up anyway, so a little preview for you there. So yeah, the story, good. The controls, good. The graphics were quite good, to be honest. Even though, you take one look at it and you think, oh, it's a bit bad compared to today, but, you soon forget about that as soon as you start playing, because you realise how big and complex it is. It got received very well by critics and stuff. I think it was very good. And obviously it was Remedy, so, it's going to be good. So yeah, if I gave it out of 10, I'd probably give it an 8, because, okay, you know what, I'd give it a 7, because it is very, very repetitive, and it's quite short, to be honest. Repetitive and short, that means that there isn't a lot of big gameplay to it at all to begin with, to be honest, but it's still good. It's good to have on the PC, like Half-Life, because even though Half-Life's like a million times longer, but, you just, I'm sure there's games out there where you can just download it and just play it. I'm not saying illegally, because, well, that's a different topic. So, thanks for watching. I give it a 7 out of 10 for all those reasons, because, the good things are obviously the innovative for the time controls, which got copied in games such as Fallout when it slowed down the time, and Sniper Elite when you saw the sniper bullet fly into the air and hit the enemy, except Sniper Elite improved that so much better. And it goes to show you also that games that copy off other games can also be great games. Games. So, thank you for listening, thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, dislike, favourite, subscribe, whatever. I think I already said subscribe, whatever. Anyway, thank you, I hope you enjoyed. And stick around, because I'll be reviewing the second game, The Fall of Max Payne. And my friend, who also is on this channel, will also be reviewing Max Payne 3. So thank you again for watching, and I will see you later.